The first episode of The Pharmacist introduces us to the lead, Dan Schneider. Dan is a Louisiana pharmacist who, at first, is investigating the death of his son in a drug deal gone wrong, and then goes on to investigate a larger opioid case related to an alleged pill mill in his community. At the beginning, Dan mentions that addiction was something that he wasn't taught about in pharmacy school, and it was something that he never thought he would have to face. So, as young pharmacists, we discussed how we personally feel about our own education and training related to opioids and addiction.
In contrast to Dan Snyder's education and training, I was taught about opioids and addiction. As a matter of fact, opioids were never taught without its addiction tendencies. Also, with the opioid addiction being an already existing silent epidemic in my society, I knew I would have to face it. So I would say that I was well prepared in the course of my training to face opioid addiction.
There is something that I describe as the gap effect in learning, and I describe it as the disconnection between what we learn and what we know about a particular subject matter. I would say that my education on opioid has been sufficient, but I wouldn't say the same thing for my training on addiction. And this is really where the gap effect comes in. And the lack of sufficient frontline experience. I would also add that opioid addiction isn't exactly prioritized in Nigeria, and this might be due to a larger focus on more pressing endemic diseases like malaria.
On the quick, as a young pharmacist, I don't think that we are not really trained about addiction for one. We are taught about opioids, at least in my case, I was taught about opioids and how I could handle my patients, how they could take their medication safely, how they could dispose their medication, and what laws are around the use of opioids. But when it came to addiction, we did talk about addiction as if it is a side effect of taking opioids and not necessarily a disease. We were not taught how to really care for addicts, and I feel that I need more training and education on how to care for patients that are addicts and what we can do to prevent other patients from becoming addicts.
Most of my training and education related to opioids and addiction comes from ambulatory care settings. It was very common to come across patients who were chronically using opioids on the outpatient side, and overall healthcare teams were pretty receptive to us providing naloxone, especially if they were also using benzodiazepines. On the other hand, things like prescribing, building tapers were far more difficult tasks, and getting a patient's buy-in, especially when they are addicted, is very difficult.
We were always taught about its medicinal uses, its side effects, its antidote, and its addiction potential. But we were specifically told that need not to worry about its addiction potential, as these were highly regulated drugs and were only prescribed in inpatient wards. So we thought, as these drugs are not prescribed for self-use, addiction chances are very less. But now I feel that the scenario has changed and non-communicable diseases have emerged in Indian population. With this, there is a rise in chronic pain associated with NCDs, and due to this chronic pain, the demand of opioids have increased exponentially. And now I feel that the opioid addiction can be a real problem in India, and we need to have a comprehensive opioid management programs right at the university level, so that we can equip future generation as well as the current generation on how to handle opioid addiction cases and opioid addiction problems in general public. Because if we not do so, we will feel the same grief as felt by Dan Schneider during the death of his child.